Welcome to Yin and Young. The following is a story taken from Chapter 3. I have called it Someone Else Steering. I hope you enjoy it. As events turned out a few days later, Uncle Danny and Auntie Rose came to Dawson Creek for a visit, and soon learned of what had happened. They offered to take Bobby to their home in Toronto for a little while. "We'd love to have Bobby with us. The girls adore him, and they would have so much fun together," Rose said. "Really, it's not a bother, and we have lots of space where they can play. You just don't worry at all." Rose provided all the soothing reassurance that Hannah needed, and it was soon enough agreed. Danny and Rose had 3 young girls, Laurel, Margaret, and Jenny. The youngest was Jenny in grade 2, and the others about a year apart each, Margaret in 4th grade and Laurel the oldest in 5th. Bobby was happy being with the girls, and after a short visit in Dawson Creek, enjoyed the long ride to Toronto in the back of the station wagon, where the kids were able to crawl around and play games or read. The car had 4 bench seats, 2 in the front and 2 in the back. The 2 in the front faced forward, while the ones in the rear of the car faced each other, with their backs toward the side windows. Suitcases were piled in the back, but the girls moved them around as it suited them to create tunnels or make room for hiding places. In those days, seatbelts were not especially important, and the children crawled around like they were in a playhouse. Time passed quickly. Playtimes were broken up by frequent stops for the family to gaze and wonder at God's beautiful creation, have a bathroom break, or get snacks. During the longer stretches, Bobby curled up on the floor with a pillow beneath him, where the hum of the road vibration gently lulled him to sleep. During his stay in Toronto, Bobby's Uncle Dan let him steer the car down Wilson as they headed to Yonge, and his aunt let him eat Fruit Loops which he never tasted before. After he poured the box of Fruit Loops onto the couch, Auntie Rose gently reprimanded him and got him to put them all back in the box, while offering a food storage container for him to manage his tasty snack. One night, after the children were sleeping, Danny sat on the edge of the bed while Rose read her Bible. "Rose, I didn't tell you what happened a few days before we got to Dawson Creek," Danny said, as he removed his socks. "I was on the phone with Dad, talking about a construction project he's working on. He said to me, 'Danny, I had such a fearful dream last night.' When I asked him to describe it, he said that he dreamt that he saw Ben and Hannah's house on fire, and that he saw me carrying Bobby out of the flames through the front door. He told me that he was afraid that Ben and Hannah were going through some difficulties, but that God was going to protect Bobby." Rose already caught the connection between Alex's dream and recent events. "You were carrying Bobby out of the flames? Goodness!" Rose replied in astonishment. "This is the hand of God, Danny." "Yes," Danny replied. "Dad didn't know a thing about what was going on with Hannah and Ben, and yet here we are now with Bobby, plucked from the fire." "Did you tell Dad what happened?" Rose asked. "No, but I'm going to call him tomorrow." "You should do that. He should know what's going on, and it will give him some comfort, I think." There was a pause as Danny reflected on events. "He seems really happy with the girls, doesn't he?" "Yes, and he so much enjoyed driving the car with you today. But I'm not sure God rescued him from the house so he could get into a car accident with his uncle." The 2 of them chuckled as conversation moved on to other matters. Danny showered off, soon returned to bed, where he led the evening Bible reading and prayers. Lights went out, and the house became quiet. Bobby's happy time in Toronto eventually came to an end, as his Uncle Dan, returning by plane to Vancouver, made a side trip to Dawson Creek, where he dropped Bobby off. Spring was turning to summer, and Bobby entertained himself by bringing his plastic tricycle outside, as well as his toy Jaguar. He kept busy driving up and down the sidewalks with plenty outside to distract him. Bobby's uncle had given him a toy dashboard, which was soon attached to the back of the Corvair's driver's seat. Whenever Bobby went in the car with his mother, he would clamber into the back, and, kneeling on the seat, he reached up to steer and switch gears. Every time his mother turned right or left, he flipped the signal light to match the ticking sound of the real car with his toy switch.